We'll start from the calculus portion, and the first chapter of calculus is continuity differentiability. So today we'll start the continuity portion. Okay, what is the meaning of continuity? Continuity means uniformness. Okay, that is, suppose there are 4 graphs I have drawn on the board. For the first graph, look, if we start from here, then we have to stop here because there is a break. So this is not continuous graph. Okay, but for the second graph, we can start from this point, and without lifting the pen we can reach up to the end point. So this is a continuous function. Similarly, this is also a continuous function, and as here there is a break in the graph, so this is not a continuous function. I hope you can understand the basic concept of continuity. Let's define the term continuity mathematically. So the definition: a function y equals to fx is said to be a continuous function continuous at a point, continuous function at a point x equals to c if limit x tends to c f of x equals to f of c. Okay, if this happens, that is limit x tends to c f of x equals to f of c, then we say that the function y equals to fx is continuous at x equals to c. Okay, so to be a continuous function, the limit at the point c, that is limit x tends to c f of x, must exist, right? Now what is the existence criteria of limit? Remember your previous class knowledge of limit, that is, if limit x tends to c plus f of x, that is the right hand limit, is equals to limit x tends to c minus f of x, that is the left hand limit. If these two limits both are equal, then we say that limit x tends to c f of x exists at point c, right? So this is the concept of existence of limit. So for a function, if limit x tends to c plus f of x, that is right hand limit, is equals to limit x tends to c minus f of x, that is the left hand limit, both are equal, as well as they are equal to f of c, that is the functional value of the function at the point c, then we say that the function is continuous. So simply we can say that, so if limit x tends to c f of x equals to f of c, then we say that the function is continuous. This is the limiting value of the function, and this is the functional value of the function. That is, if limiting value is equals to functional value, then we say that the function is continuous at that point. Let's discuss an example. Suppose f of x equals to 2x plus 3. Check the continuity of this function. Here there is no restriction of this function, that is x belongs to the real number. No need to discuss about the existence of limit here, because this function is clearly defined on the real number. There is a no break. No break means, suppose you have fx equals to mod x. You know that for this function, the definition of this function is mod x equals to x when x is greater than 0, is 0 when x is 0, and is minus x when x is negative. So this is called the break of a function. Look here, the function f of x equals to 2x plus 3 is defined on the whole region of R, but for this function mod x, the function is in break form. Okay, so here we only calculate the limiting value and the functional value. Okay, suppose we have to check the continuity at x equals to some point c, then calculate the limiting value. Limit x tends to c, f of x is equals to 2c plus 3. Now the functional value at the point c, f of c equals to also 2c plus 3. Since the limit x tends to c, f of x equals to f of c, which is equals to 2c plus 3, hence we say that f is continuous at x equals to c. You may take in the value of c as 2 also, then you can easily find out the values of limiting value and the functional value. So if there is no break in the function, then we simply calculate the limiting value and the functional value. If these two values are equal, then we say that this function is continuous at that point. So another example, if there is a break, that is suppose f of x equals to mod x, and check the continuity at x equals to 0. At first, look at the definition of this function. Fx equals to mod x is equals to x when x is greater than 0, minus x when x is less than 0, and 0 when x is equals to 0. So in this case, as we have to check the continuity at x equals to 0, so we have to check the existence of limit at that point also. Okay, that is, at first calculate the right hand limit at 0. So limit x tends to 0 plus f of x is equals to limit x tends to 0 plus the value of fx when x is positive. X tends to 0 plus means from the right hand side of 0 towards 0, this is x tends to 0 plus. And what is x tends to 0 minus? From the left hand side towards 0, this is x tends to 0 minus. Remember that one. So x tends to 0 plus, that is right hand side of 0, gives us the value x, which is equals to 0, right? Now limit x tends to 0 minus f of x, that is left hand limit of the function f at the point 0. This equals to limit x tends to 0 minus, what is the value of fx when x is negative? When x is negative, that is when x is less than 0, that is left hand side of 0, the value of function is minus x. So this is minus x. Again, putting the value of x here, we can get 0 also. And what is the functional value? That is f of 0. F of 0, that is at x equals to 0, the functional value is also 0. So this is also 0. So clearly in this case all the three parts are equal. Hence this function is also continuous at x equals to 0. That is, therefore f of x is continuous at x equals to 0. That is, mod x is continuous at x equals to 0. So clearly you have noticed that suppose a function is defined as fx equals to something 2x plus 5 and x belongs to real number, so you have to check the continuity in the domain of that function. That is, no need to check the right hand side and left hand side of limit. Okay, that is, you have to check the whether the functional value, that is, suppose we are choosing x equals to 5, whether the functional value, that is f of 5, and the limiting value x tends to 5 f of x are equal or not. This is type 1. Next one, if the function is in the form like this, suppose f of x equals to 2x minus 2 when x is greater than 5. Suppose when x is less than 5, the function is defined as x square. Okay, and let's define right like this. When x is greater and equals to 5, then the function is 2x minus 2, and when x is less than 5, then the function is fx equals to x square. What about the continuity at a defined point? Suppose at x equals to 5. What will be the continuity of this function at x equals to 5? To check, as this function is in the form of break form, that is, we have to check the right hand limit, that is limit x tends to 5 plus f of x. What will be the value of this? Limit x tends to 5 plus, limit x tends to 5 plus means right hand side of 5. The functional value is 2x minus 2. So 2x minus 2. Let's substitute the value of x as 5 in the function. Will get 2 into 5 minus 2, which is equals to 8. Calculate the value of left hand limit of the function. This equals to limit x tends to 5 minus. Now what is the value of the function when x is less than 5? That is left hand side of 5. Left hand side of 5 gives us x square. So limit x tends to 5 minus x square, which is, we have to put 5, not minus 5. 5 minus, remember 5 minus x tends to 5 minus gives us the direction of taking the function. Okay, x tends to 5 minus means we have to take the value of the function when x is in the left hand side of 5. Okay, so we have to put 5, not minus 5. So limit x tends to 5 minus x square gives us 5 square, which is equals to 25. Clearly the right hand limit is 8 and the left hand limit is 25. Okay, so both are not equal. Okay, hence obviously the function is not continuous at that point, since as right hand limit and left hand limit are not equal, hence the limit does not exist at that point. Okay, since the limit does not exist at x equals to 5, hence the function is not continuous at x equals to 5. Actually, if a function is continuous, then it must have a proper limit. Okay, that is, the limit must exist at that point. After that we can calculate whether it is equal to the function value or not. So for this case we can get a property which states like this: continuity of a function implies the existence of limit. That is, if a function is continuous, then its limit must exist. Why? By the definition of continuity, we can say that if limit x tends to c f of x equals to f of c, then the function is continuous, right? So if this limit exists, then we can say, and equals to functional value, then we can say that the function is continuous. So obviously the continuity of a function implies the existence of limit. But if limit exists and not equals to f of c, okay, then what will happen? Then we can say that the function is not continuous, right? So continuity of a function implies existence of limit, but existence of limit does not assure the continuity of the function. Clear? So continuity implies limit always, but always, that is in general, limit does not always imply the continuity of the function. Okay, remember this property. Let's discuss another example. Suppose f of x equals to signum function and you have to check the continuity at x equals to 0. So easily you can say that the continuity of signum function is not possible, that is the function is discontinuous at x equals to 0. Why? You know that the limit of the signum function does not exist. How? Let's recall the existence of limit of the signum function. At first, the signum function signum x equals to mod x by x is defined as 1 when x is greater than 0, is 0 when x equals to 0, and minus 1 when x is less than 0. Clearly at x equals to 0 the limit of this function does not exist. Why? Limit x tends to 0 plus f of x is limit x tends to 0 plus the value of the function when x tends to 0 plus is 1, this equals to 1. Limit x tends to 0 minus f of x is equals to limit x tends to 0 minus the value of x function when x tends to 0 minus is minus 1, which is equals to minus 1. Clearly the right hand limit and the left hand limit are not equal. Since the right hand limit is not equals to left hand limit, therefore fx limit x tends to 0 f of x does not exist. Right? Since the limit does not exist, hence we can say that the function is not continuous at x equals to 0. Therefore f is not continuous at x equals to 0. We are going to end our today's class by giving the algebra of continuity. Okay, and next day we will do some more problems and start our exercise. Okay, so algebra of continuous function. Suppose fx and gx are both continuous at x equals to c, then f plus g, that is fx plus gx, is continuous at x equals to c. fx minus gx is continuous at x equals to c. Number 3, f into g, that is fx into gx, is also continuous at x equals to c. Number 4, f by g, provided g of x not equals to 0, is also continuous at x equals to c. This is the basic concept of or basic properties of algebra of continuous functions. Another one is, suppose number 5, k into f of x is also continuous at x equals to c, where k is a constant. In the previous class we have discussed about the definition of continuous function. When a function is said to be continuous. Okay, let's resume that class. At first, recall the formula related to limit. Limit x tends to 0, sin x by x equals to 1. Limit x tends to a, x to the power n minus a to the power n by x minus a equals to n a to the power n minus 1, right? And limit x tends to 0, e to the power x minus 1 by x is also 1, and so on. There are so many formulas related to limit. Now discuss the continuity of the function sin x. So we have to check the continuity of the function sin x. Now limit x tends to c sin x, this equals to apply the formula of sin of a plus b, which is sin a, that is sin c cos h plus cos c sin h. So this equals to limit h tends to 0 sin c. This function is independent of h, so this is constant term. At first let's break the function sin c cos h plus limit h tends to 0 cos c sin h. This equals to sin c into limit h tends to 0 cos h plus cos c limit h tends to 0 sin h. If we put the value of h here and also here, then there will not arise any indeterminate cases, right? So we can put the values of h. So sin c into cos 0 plus cos c into sin 0. Cos 0 is 1, sin 0 0, so this is sin c, which is our f of c. So therefore we get limit x tends to c f of x equals to f of c. Hence fx equals to sin x is a continuous function. Let's start exercise 5.1. Prove that the function f of x equals to 5x minus 3 is continuous at x equals to 0, x equals to minus 3 and x equals to 5. So basically we have to show that for first is 0, at x equals to 0 we have to show that limit x tends to 0 f of x equals to f of 0. If this happens, then by definition of continuous function we can say that the function is continuous at x equals to 0. So let's start. Limit x tends to 0 f of x equals to limit x tends to 0. What is the value of fx? 5x minus 3. We can put the value of x as 0 here, because if we put x equals to 0 then the limit exists. So putting the value of x we get minus 3. Now we have to calculate f of 0. 5 into 0 minus 3 equals to also minus 3. Since limit x tends to 0 f of x equals to f of 0, therefore f is continuous at x equals to 0. Similarly, you can show that the function is continuous at x equals to minus 3 as well as x equals to 5 in the similar process. So try at home. Next question number 2. Examine the continuity of the function f of x equals to 2x square minus 1 at x equals to 3. Similarly, we have to start with finding limit x tends to the given point 3 f of x. This equals to limit x tends to 3 to x square minus 1. We can put x equals to 3 here as the limit exists. So 2 into 3 square minus 1, this is 17. F of 3 is equals to 2 into 3 square minus 1, this is also 17. Since limit x tends to 3, f of x equals to f of 3 equals to 17, therefore f is continuous at the given point x equals to 3. Very simple problem. Question number 3. Suppose question number C. Examine the continuity of the functions fx equals to x square minus 25 by x plus 5. There is no given point, so we have to check whether the function is continuous at every point, every real numbers or not. If there is any kind of discontinuity, then you have to find out at which point the function is not continuous. Okay, so let's find. At first, simplify it. Let C be any real number, positive, negative or 0. Now limit x tends to C, f of x is equals to limit x tends to C, x minus 5, which is equals to C minus 5. C is any real number. Now what is the functional value at C? That is f of C equals to C minus 5. Both are equal. Therefore, the given function f is continuous at every real number. Question number D. F of x equals to modulus x minus 5. At first you have to recall the modulus function. Okay, fine. Mod of x is equals to x when x is positive, 0 when x is 0, minus x when x is negative. Then what about mod of x minus 5? Mod of x minus 5 equals to x minus 5 when x is greater than 5, 0 when x is 5, 5 minus x when x is negative, when x is minus 5, right? So look, this is a function which is in the break form. Remember the previous class? As the function is breaked at the point 5, so we have to check the continuity at the point 5. Okay, simply if we consider this is the point 5, then at the point 5 the function is 0. If x is greater than 5, then the value is x minus 5. Suppose all the points greater than 5 gives the same value, same function value, x minus 5. Okay, if the points are less than 5, that is left hand side of 5, then the values, not necessary you have to write here. Suppose you can write here also, if the numbers x are less than 5, then the values will be 5 minus x. Okay, if we can check the graph by using pen, then you can easily say that the function is continuous or not. How? Starting from here, going along the line, no need to lifting out the pen, So by using that method, that is by observing the graph of that function, we can say that the function is continuous. But in mathematically we have to prove the function is continuous or not. How? In this case we need to show this function to be a continuous function by using the left hand limit and right hand limit concept. Okay, so at first find the right hand limit. Limit x tends to 5 plus, we are checking at x equals to 5, we are checking as at x equals to 5 the function is breaked into 3 parts. So right hand limit equals to limit x tends to 5 plus f of x equals to limit x tends to 5 plus value of f of x when x is greater than 5 is x minus 5. So this will be 0, putting the value 5 here. Left hand limit x tends to 5 minus f of x, that is left hand side of 5, limit x tends to 5 minus value is 5 minus x, again 5 minus 5, 0. Remember where here we only put 5, not minus 5. 5 minus denotes the direction. X tends to 5 minus means from the left hand side towards 5. This is x tends to 5 minus, remember. And we have to find out functional value f of 5. F of 5 is 0. Look, at x equals to 5 function is 0. Since right hand limit equals to left hand limit equals to functional value at the point 5, therefore f is continuous at 5. Now look, we have to only calculate whether the function is continuous or not at x equals to 5, because the function is breakable at x equals to 5. Okay, therefore function f is continuous at every point. Clear? We'll start from question number 6. fx is given as fx equals to 2x plus 3 if x less equals to 2, and fx equals to 2x minus 3 if x greater than 2. Here the question is find all the points of discontinuity of f, where f is defined by this. We have to find out all the points of discontinuity. Okay, we are solving the NCERT exercise 5. Okay, exercise 5.1. in the previous video lecture we have already discussed about the problems from 1 up to 5. So we have to find out the points of discontinuity for this type of function. Look, this function is break type function. There is no point given at which we have to find out the continuity of this function. So we have to look at the function where the function is breaked. Look, here the function is breaked at the point 2. So we have to test the continuity at that point only. If the function is continuous at that point, then we can say that there is no point of discontinuity. We have to find, for this type of problem, find the points of discontinuity. So remember, if there is no point is given, or we have to find out the points of discontinuity, this type of functions, we have to check the continuity at that point. So here we have to check the right hand limit, so limit x tends to 2 plus f of x. Right hand side of 2 gives us this function, so limit x tends to 2 plus 2x minus 3. Putting the value of x equals to 2, here we get 2 into 2 minus 3 equals to 1. Similarly, limit x tends to 2 minus f of x equals to limit 2 minus 2 minus means left hand side of 2, and the value is 2x plus 3. 2 into 2 plus 3 equals to 7. No need to find the function value, as we can see that the right hand limit and the left hand limit are not equal, hence the limit does not exist, thus the function is not continuous. If you want to find the functional value at that point, then f of 2 gives us 2 into 2 plus 3 equals to 7. Since right hand limit is not equals to left hand limit, therefore the function is not continuous at x equals to 2. We have to find out the points of discontinuity, therefore 2 is a point of discontinuity of the function. Clear? This is the process to find out the points of discontinuity if exist. Next, question number 8. Fx is given as fx equals to mod x by x when x is greater than 0, when x is not equals to 0, and is 0 when x is 0. Find all the points of discontinuity for this function. Here you know this function, this is signum function. So at first rewrite the function as, if x is greater than 0, then mod x is x, so 1, x by x 1. If x is less than 0, mod x is minus x, so this is minus 1, and it is given that for 0 the functional value is 0. We have to find out all the points of discontinuity for this type of function. So calculate the right hand limit. Limit x tends to 0 plus, why are we checking the right hand limit or the limit at x tends to 0? Because the function is break as at the point 0. Okay, so limit x tends to 0 plus f of x equals to limit x tends to 0 plus right hand side of 0, the value is 1. Left hand limit x tends to 0 minus f of x is equals to limit x tends to 0 minus left hand side of 0 is minus 1, so this is minus 1, and the functional value equals to 0. So all the three values are unequal. Therefore, since right hand limit not equals to left hand limit, not equals to functional value, therefore f is not continuous at x equals to 0. So 0 is the point of discontinuity for this type of function. Okay, now for the problem number 9, fx is given as fx equals to x by mod x when x less than 0 and minus 1 when x greater equals to 0. We have to find out the points of discontinuity for this type of function. So if x is less than 0, let's redefine the function. Then mod x will be minus x when x less than 0, and it is given that if for x greater equals to 0, function is minus 1. So this will be minus 1 when x is less than 0, minus 1 when x is greater equals to 0. Now calculate the right hand limit. Limit x tends to 0 plus fx limit x tends to 0 plus this side the value of the function is -1, so this is -1. Left hand limit equals to limit x tends to 0 minus fx is equals to limit x tends to 0 minus the value is -1, this is equals to -1, and the functional value at the point 0, here it is, so this is -1. Since right hand limit equals to left hand limit equals to functional value at that point, therefore f is continuous at x equals to 0. Since 0 is the only point where the function is braked and there is no break at any other points, hence and at the point 0 the function is continuous, so we can write the function is continuous at every point, that is there is no point of discontinuity. So write, therefore there is no point of discontinuity. Clear? So from question number 6 to 12, try at home. All the problems are similar problems. Try yourself at home. If there arise any kind of problem or doubt regarding this type of problems, please comment below. Let's move on to the problem number 14. This is another type of problem. The function is braked in 3 parts, right? Fx equals to 3 when 0 less equals to x less than 1. Fx equals to 4, 1 less than x less than 3. Fx equals to 5 when 3 less equals to x less equals to 10. Discuss the continuity of the function. So basically we have to check whether the function is continuous at every point or whether it is discontinuous. If it is discontinuous, then at which point it is discontinuous, we have to find out. Okay. At first, draw a rough sketch. The function is braked at 0, 1, 3 at 10. This is 10, suppose this is 3, this is 1, this is 0, suppose. Now if the function lies in between 0 and 1 and 0 and 1 are included because there is the equal sign, so from 0 to 1 including 0, 1, the functional value gives us 3. In between 1 and 3 excluding the points 1, 3, the value is 4. Including the point 3 and 10, the value is 5. So look, we have to check at 1, 3. We have to check the continuity of this function at the point x equals to 1 and at the point x equals to 3, because there is no definition of the function for x less than 0. For x less than 0, the function is not defined. Look at the function. The function is not defined for x less than 0. So we only find the discontinuity property or continuous property of this function in the region only, in the given region. And for x greater than 10, the function is also not defined. So we only think about the points 1 and 3. The whole region is given 0 to 10, and in between 0 to 10, the function is also braked at 1 as well as 3. So we only check the property of continuity for this function at x equals to 1 and x equals to 3. So now calculate the RHL. RHL, right hand limit equals to limit x tends to 1 plus f of x. 1 plus means right hand side of 1. Now look, right hand side of 1 is 4, again 5. The value of the function is 4 when x is greater than 1, as well as 5 also. For x greater than 3, value is 5. That means for x greater than 1, the value will be 5 also. So we have to take the nearest value. So for x tends to 1 plus, the value of the function will be 4. So limit x tends to 1 plus, value is 4. This is 4. Now left hand limit x tends to 1 minus fx less than 1, value is 3. So limit x tends to 1 minus, the value is 3, equals to 3. Since the right hand limit not equals to left hand limit, therefore the function is not continuous is discontinuous at, we are checking 1 at 1. Now for x equals to 3, right hand limit x tends to 3 plus fx, right hand side of 3 is 5. So limit x tends to 3 plus 5 equals to 5. Look, right hand side of 3 means x greater than 3. This is x greater than 3, the value is 5. Left hand limit equals to limit x tends to 3 minus fx is equals to limit x tends to 3 minus. 3 minus means less than 3. If x is less than 3, the value is 4. Look at here, 4. So this is 4. Since right hand limit is not equals to left hand limit, therefore fx is discontinuous at x equals to 3 also. Therefore f is not continuous at x equals to 1 as well as 3. This is the answer. Similarly, you can try to solve the question number 15 also. If there arise any kind of problems or doubt regarding today's lesson, please do comment below. Hello students, let's start today's class. Okay, so today we'll resume our class from question number 16, exercise 5.1. Here fx is given by -2 if x is less equals to -1, 2x if -1 less equals to x less equals to 1, and 2 if x greater than 1. We have to discuss the continuity of the function f, right? So look here, as usual you have to remember that for a breakable function we have to check the continuity of this function at the points given here. Here we have to check at -1, x equals to -1 and x equals to 1. Okay, so right hand limit at x equals to -1 is limit x tends to -1 plus f of x, that is right hand side of -1. Right hand side of -1 gives us 2x, so limit x tends to -1 plus 2x is equals to 2 into -1, because the value is here -1, so this equals to -2. Left hand limit is equals to limit x tends to -1 minus f of x. x tends to -1 minus, that means left hand side of -1 is -2, so directly you can write -2. So right hand limit and left hand limit are equal. Now the functional value at the point -1, at the point -1 the function is -2. Since left hand limit equals to right hand limit equals to functional value, therefore f is continuous at x equals to -1. Similarly, we have to check at x equals to 1. Right hand limit equals to limit x tends to 1 plus f of x. Right hand side of 1 is x greater than 1 and the value is 2. As there is no x involved here, so we can directly write it 2. Similarly, find the left hand limit. The left hand limit will be limit x tends to 1 minus f of x is equals to 1 minus left hand side of 1 is 2x. So limit x tends to 1 minus 2x, putting the value 1 we get 2. Now the functional value at the point 1, 2x, so 2 into 1 equals to 2. Since the left hand limit equals to right hand limit equals to functional value at the point 1, therefore f is continuous at x equals to 1 also. Therefore there is no point of discontinuity. Of the function fx, right? Hence the function is continuous at every point. Clear? Let's start the problem number 17. This is a very important problem. At first read the problem. Find the relationship between a and b. Show that the function f defined by fx equals to ax plus 1. Question number 17. We have to find out the relationship between a and b such that the function given by fx equals to ax plus 1 if x is less equals to 3 and bx plus 3 if x is greater than 3 is continuous at x equals to 3. Here it is given that this function is continuous at x equals to 3 and we have to find out a relation between a and b. Okay, since f is continuous where at x equals to 3, therefore we can write right hand limit equals to left hand limit equals to functional value at 3. Okay, so right hand limit means limit x tends to 3 plus f of x is equals to limit x tends to 3 minus f of x equals to f of 3. Okay, since the function is continuous at that point, right hand limit for x tends to c3 plus fx gives us bx plus 3 and for x tends to 3 minus, that is less than 3, fx gives us x plus 1 and functional value at 3 is a x plus 1, that is value of x is 3, so 3a plus 1. Now if we put the value 3, then we will get 3b plus 3 equals to 3a plus 1 equals to 3a plus 1. So basically we have 3b minus 3a equals to 1 minus 3. Taking the first two equalities, we get 3b minus 3a equals to 1 minus 3. This implies b minus a equals to, taking 3 common, minus 2. Therefore a minus b is equals to 2 by 3. This is the relation. This is the required relation for this function. Clear? take a look. If there is any kind of problem, please do comment. Next, another type of problem, question number 18. Read the question very carefully. This type of problem is also very important for your board exams, right? So, for what value of lambda, what is the value of lambda? For that, the function given by fx equals to lambda into x square minus 2x if x less equals to 0, 4x plus 1 if x greater than 0 is continuous at x equals to 0. For what value of lambda the function is continuous at x equals to 0? What about the continuity at x equals to 1? So at first we have to find out the value of lambda such that this function is continuous at x equals to 0. Okay, so as it is given that f is continuous at x equals to 0, therefore right hand limit equals to left hand limit equals to f of 0. Since it is given, right, f is continuous at x equals to 0, so right hand limit left hand limit equals to f of 0. This implies limit x tends to 0 plus f of x equals to limit x tends to 0 minus f of x equals to functional value at x equals to 0. The functional value is this, so putting 0 which is equals to 0. Now the right hand limit gives us for x greater than 0 we will get the value of the function 4x plus 1, so we can write limit x tends to 0 plus 4x plus 1 which is equals to limit x tends to 0 minus 0 minus mean left hand side lambda into x square minus 2x. So look, if we put 0 here, it is 0 also, then what will happen? 4 into 0 plus 1 equals to lambda into 0 minus 0. So basically we have an absurd result. In the left hand side it is 1, in the right hand side it is 0. So there is no such values of lambda such that the continuity of this function at x equals to 0 depends on that value. Okay, so basically in this case for every or for any values of lambda, the function is continuous at x equals to 0. The continuity of this function does not depend on the value of lambda. Okay, next another part is, what about the continuity of the function at x equals to 1? So if we want to check the continuity of this function at x equals to 1, we have to calculate the left hand limit as well as the right hand limit and the functional values of this function at x equals to 1. Okay, fine. So try yourself to find out the values of this function at x tends to 1 plus, at x tends to 1 minus, and the function value. Okay, hello students, let's resume today's class. We will solve some problems of the exercise 5.1. okay, So let's start. Question number 22. Discuss the continuity of cosine, cosecant, secant and cotangent function. Remember, I have given an example of fx equals to sin x, and we have already discussed about that continuity of that function, right? So similarly, suppose I am showing you the cosine function. Let fx equals to cos x. Okay, so we have to discuss the continuity of this function. Let we are checking at x equals to c be any real number. Now limit x tends to c, f of x is equals to limit x tends to c cosine, that is cos x, limit h tends to 0. Let's change the limit. We are putting cos of c plus h. Okay, here we substitute x equals to c plus h, since x tends to c, hence h tends to 0. Okay, now apply the formula of cosine a plus b. So limit h tends to 0, cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Okay, cos c outside, limit h tends to 0, cos h minus, taking a sin c outside, as sin c and cos c are independent of h, limit h tends to 0, sin h. Okay, fine. If we substitute the value of h in both cases, then we have cos c into cos 0 minus sin c into sin 0, right? Cos 0 is 1, so this is cos c, and this is 0, as sin 0 equals to 0. Now f of c equals to cos c, so which is equals to f of c. Now look, we have limit x tends to c, f of x equals to f of c. Therefore f is continuous at x equals to c. Since c is any arbitrary real number, then f is continuous at everywhere. Okay, that is at every point, every real number. Clear? Similarly, you can show yourself that cosecant and secant and cotangent functions are also continuous. Try yourself at home. Next, we'll do a problem of number 23. Read the problem very carefully. We have to find out the points of discontinuity of the given function. Okay, find all the points of discontinuity of the function f. Question number 23. The function is given fx equals to sin x by x when x is less than 0, and it is x plus 1 when x is greater or equals to 0. We have to find out the points of discontinuity of this function. Okay, now remember, as I have already told, that we have to check only at the breaking point. Here the function is braked at the point 0, so we only check the continuity of this function at x equals to 0. So let's check at x equals to 0. We have to find out the right hand limit as well as the left hand limit, right? Because the function is a break function. Okay, now left hand limit equals to limit x tends to 0 minus f of x is equals to limit x tends to 0 minus left hand side of 0 gives us the value of the function as sin x by x, And remember the formula of limit x tends to 0, sin x by x is 1, so this equals to 1. Now right hand limit, calculate it. Right hand limit equals to limit x tends to 0 plus f of x, which is equals to limit x tends to 0 plus value of the function for x tends to 0 plus is x plus 1. Putting the value, we have 0 plus 1, which is equals to 1. So find right hand limit and left hand limit are both are equal. Now calculate the functional value at 0. F of 0 equals to, for x equals to 0, functional value is x plus 1, so 0 plus 1 equals to 1. Since the right hand limit equals to left hand limit equals to the functional value at the point 0, therefore f is continuous at x equals to 0. Look, since there is no point of discontinuity or there is no behavior of discontinuity of this function at the breakable point, hence the function has no point of discontinuity. Clear? Okay, fine. Moving on to the next problem, that is question number 24. If you don't understand at a glance, you may forward or backward this video, right? So this is a very much benefit for you. Okay, so question number 24, determine if f be defined as fx equals to x square sin 1 upon x if x not equals to 0 and is 0 if x equals to 0, is a continuous function. Is this function a continuous function? We have to check. Now if x not equals to 0, then the function is this x square sin 1 upon x. If x not equals to 0 means either x greater than 0 or x less than 0. Okay, so for x greater than 0, that is for x tends to 0 plus or x tends to 0 minus, the function gives us the same value. So no need to calculate the right hand limit or left hand limit. Okay, just calculate the limit. Why? Because for right hand case and left hand case, the function gives us the same value, because if x not equals to 0, that means either x is greater than 0 or x is less than 0. For that case, function gives us this value, and for x equals to 0, functional value is 0. So only calculate limit x tends to 0 f of x equals to limit x tends to 0 x square sin 1 upon x. Okay, fine. So this equals to, we have to adjust. Remember, you have already done in class 11 how to find this limit. So sin 1 upon x by 1 upon x. Okay, and there is a x outside, so if we separate them, then limit x tends to 0 sin 1 upon x by 1 upon x into limit x tends to 0 x, this is 1 and the value of this function is 0, ultimately 0. So the limiting value of this function at x equals to 0 is 0. What about the functional value? Look at the function. If x equals to 0, functional value is 0, so f of 0 is equals to 0. Therefore the function is continuous, right? Why? Since limit x tends to 0 f of x equals to 0, which is f of 0, hence the function is continuous at x equals to 0. I hope you can understand. Let's repeat again. Since x not equals to 0, then the function gives us this value, and for x equals to 0, the functional value is 0. No need to calculate the right hand limit or left hand limit. Okay, because x not equals to 0 means either x is greater than 0 or x is less than 0. So for the either cases, the value of the function are same, right? So we just only calculate the limiting value and the functional value. Okay, So limiting value gives us 0, functional value is also 0. Since limiting value and functional value are equal at 0, hence the function is continuous at x equals to 0, right? I will discuss another two problems related to continuity, and then today I will give you the definition of a differentiability of a function, okay? And from next day we'll start differentiation, higher order differentiation, okay? Now let's do another problem. Find the values of k. For that, question number 28, f(x) equals to kx plus 1 if x less equals to pi, and cos x if x greater than pi is continuous at x equals to pi. For what value of k the function is continuous at x equals to pi? Clear? What is the question? Question is given for what value of k, or for which value of k the given function f(x) like this is continuous at x equals to pi. Remember, in the previous class I have already shown how to find the values of the constant numbers. Since f is continuous at x equals to pi, therefore left hand limit equals to right hand limit equals to functional value at pi. Clear? Therefore limit x tends to pi minus f(x) equals to limit x tends to pi plus f(x) equals to f of pi. Now x tends to pi minus means this range, so value of the function when x tends to pi minus is kx plus 1, which is equals to limit x tends to pi plus range, in this range value is cos x, and f of pi value is k into pi plus 1, right? This implies if we put the value, then this will gives us pi into k plus 1 equals to cos pi plus pi equals to k pi plus 1. Both are equal, so there is only one equation, k pi plus 1 equals to cos pi. What is the value of pi? Cos pi. Think about it. What is the value of cos pi? If you can't find cos 0, 1, right? Cos pi by 2, 0, right? Cos pi minus 1, cos 3 by pi by 2 is again 0. Okay, so for cos pi this is minus 1, so k pi plus 1 equals to minus 1. This implies k pi equals to 2, therefore k equals to 2 by pi. This is the required value of k. Clear? I did a silly mistake here. If we take plus 1 this side, then this will become minus 2, so this will be minus 2 by pi. Okay,
thanks for watching this video. Please like, share and comment, and obviously please do subscribe my channel Strong Math. Mention your query. Keep watching. Thank you.